Adams' speed. Okay, so Adams is to the top right here. We have Sauce versus Metcalf. We're not going to talk about Sauce in his form or anything like that. We're going to talk about that later in the offseason here because he almost gets beat. But with that being said, Tony Adams looks like you have a 6 right here, cover 6. He's in a deep half, so he's playing this deep half to the top of the screen. If anything, you want Sauce to play that more heavy outside leverage to force it into Tony Adams because Tony Adams is reading that. Now, Tony Adams is reading the route from Metcalf, see that's an outside release, assumes that Sauce Gardner is going to have good enough leverage and good enough play on the route that he's going to be able to play anything outside. Checks back inside, sees that the quarterback is throwing the ball, confirms it, and breaks on to Metcalf, gets the hit. Now, yes, the ball is dropped here, and he might even catch this and bring it down and be able to get a toe tap before Adams gets there. But overall, we're showing the speed. So just watch the speed of him getting to the sideline right here. Again, good job. He's getting into his angle. He's getting over the top. Now you could say, okay, well, you want him to get over the top immediately. Sure, but at the same point, if Sauce has this locked down and then there's routes going to come from the other side, he wants to say a little bit inside, especially considering Sauce is who he is and knowing that he has Tony Adams to the inside. If he's going to release to the outside, okay, Tony Adams should think he has it, So he stays inside. That's completely fine. Confirms that the ball is getting thrown. You see the acceleration by Tony Adams. We see the hit on the sideline, laying Metcalf out. So it's a good play. It's a good play here. Again, active eyes, reading the route, checking the quarterback, sees throwing the ball, confirms it. Like we see the processing there is all pretty quick from Adams. So we like that play. Adams missed sack. Okay. I think he comes off the left side right here. And this is where I'll say in terms of his weaknesses, I do want to see him break down a little bit more before some tackles. He can come into tackles high and lunging instead of really breaking down and having good tackle form. So again, he comes off the left side, closes ground on Gino, and we see him come into the tackle. And really the angle is not bad, but we want to see him break down, get his feet under him, come into the tackle with better form in terms of getting a little bit lower, wrapping him up, crossing the helmet, and if not crossing the helmet, and you're going to do like that Seattle style of tackling, that rugby style of tackling, then wrap him up, scoop up the legs. But overall, we need to be lower. We need to be in better control right here because he misses a sack on Geno Smith. He gets spun. Why does he get spun? Because he comes into tackle uncontrolled. Throws it, obviously dumps it off. It's short. Adams off man patient. Okay, he's in man covered right here on a receiver, actually. The number 3. Let's watch. Yeah, this one's pretty quick, but it's a good job by him. He's an off. I don't necessarily love like this off coverage where it's only like 5 yards, but it is off, so it's fine. Again, it's not necessarily my preference, but we have a good stance. We have good balance. We have really good patience here by Tony Adams, who stays over his toes as the receiver is stemming towards him. Now, the only thing I will say is you want to see a little bit more active feet. His feet get locked into the ground a little bit there, so I want to see a tiny bit more activity. But we see him creating just slight separation, just reading the stem, stays very, very square, very good patience, again, to that receiver, even almost too much patience. The receiver starts to stem to the inside. Tony Adams throws his quarter step, gets his hand on, gets the near hand on, matches him. It's a really, really patient play from Adams. Again, might want to see a little bit more of like a foot fire and his feet a little bit more active. They're a little bit locked at first, but as he does close more ground, they get a little bit more active. So it's a really, really good play by him. Again, hand on, match him, chase. He's in trail. Okay, it's fine, but it's a good play by Tony Adams. Adams tackle in space. Okay. I think he comes down from the top right here or bottom right here. Yeah. Again, good job. Now it's a good job making a tackle. It's a good job. We see him closing ground downhill quickly here. I like the angle that's more outside in. Again, why? Because pursuit is coming from from the inside right here, not from the outside, right? You can't assume it's coming from the outside because players aren't out there. They're always going to be from the inside. So it's a good job taking an outside in angle. Yeah. Now the only thing here is break. We want him to break down. We don't want him to lunge. Now he does cross his helmet, but we don't want the feet. We don't want the bend from the waist, and we don't want diving like he does. Ideally, he breaks down, he drives through his feet, he wraps up, he crosses his helmet, and he brings down the ball carrier. We don't necessarily want, again, it's a good angle. It's a good job getting downhill quick, lunges, makes the hit. But ideally, we wrap up, right? And one of the problems here is he ducks his head into that tackle, shoulder into the helmet, and then I think he's out for the rest of the game after this point. So why? Why does he leave the game? Because of bad tackle form, because he ducked his head instead of having his helmet up, driving through the tackle, wrapping up, etc. Tackle. Okay, he's to the top of your screen right here, deep safety. Oh, so maybe this is the play. No, so he went out for a few plays after that play. I know that at least he was definitely injured there. But now we see him processing, patient, reading a run or a pass, sees the ball is handed off, immediately gets downhill, tackle. Now again, tackle form, right? So the tackle form is not ideal here. Comes high into the tackle, doesn't get low, doesn't have that rugby style where he's going to wrap up and lift up the thighs. He doesn't cross his helmet. He doesn't like fully wrap up with his helmet in front. Now he wraps up, but this is almost what you see with like JBC in terms of like that drag down tackling form where he's going to wrap up and just put all of his weight onto you. It works sometimes. It does not work all the time. So it's again, good job getting downhill, good angle. It's pretty conservative over the top. It's okay. He also has a force player to the outside there. It's fine. But overall, the tackle form, a little bit sketchy. 3 plays left of Adams. Slightly late here on the recording, sorry, but he's playing deep right here. Let's watch. Double versus Tyreek Hill. Tony Adams is in his what seems to be his deep fourth, and at a certain point in the rep, obviously he has Tyreek Hill who is creating who is stemming vertically towards Adams, and you have Sauce who is playing in a curl to flat or playing the one because the one becomes the 2, which is Hill. So now